All right, y'all. I was sent this Reddit thread a couple of times. And yes, we really need to talk about this one. This one made me kind of chuckle. And once again, it's a woman asking if she's the a hole, and she's just looking for validation for simple human emotions. Because just reading the title, absolutely no, you're not the a hole. She says, am I the a hole for telling a man that I was not willing to be a housewife on his salary? Absolutely not. You're not the a hole. Okay, let's read the story. She says, I've been seeing this man for a few months, and it's been good. We have fun and are quite compatible in most things. However, recently we were having a conversation about long term goals and where we see ourselves in 5 years. He said he wanted to be married and have a couple of kids in a couple of years and have a housewife. He said he will feel like he has failed as a husband if his wife works. I said he should take into account that a lot of women actually have dreams and goals, and his wife may not want to be a housewife. I said I wouldn't want to, and especially not a full time stay at home mom. He was trying to convince me why it would be such a good idea for me to quit my job and just relax because I had been working since I was 16 and had no one to rely on but myself. Have always had multiple jobs, even in college, and have never had time to just relax and not do anything. I said, being a stay at home mom or even a housewife is not relaxing unless the husband is a millionaire who hires help. It's not just lounging around all day when chores and or childcare needs to be done. I wish men would really talk to women because there is nothing about being a stay at home mom or a housewife that is just easy like they think it is. They do not talk to women enough because they really keep with this trope. Okay, let's continue. She says, I would consider it if he made so much money that my salary would seem like peanuts. I explained how, although I do not admire this quality about myself, I'm someone who values comfort and convenience. I've had a very high paying job for a long time, and I've gotten used to living a good life. I'm not going to downgrade my lifestyle just because it will allow me to stay home and not have a job. Nothing about being unemployed and living an average life sounds appealing to me. I like being able to afford the lifestyle I've dreamt of having as a child growing up in poverty, and I'm not going to allow myself to downgrade for something that isn't a good enough reason to me. We live in the UK. I work for a foreign company and they pay me a lot more than the standard salary here, but he earns about £35,000 a year. He believes he can comfortably have a housewife with that salary. I said maybe he can, but that housewife will not be me. We would not be able to live a good life on his salary, and I would not be happy. If we both worked and combined our incomes, we could live a really good life instead of living an average life only on his salary. He wasn't speaking to me. He wasn't speaking to me much in the days after that conversation, and I understood. He probably didn't think we were all that compatible. However, he called me yesterday and got into a 15-minute rant about how I went out of my way to make him feel like and worthless by pointing out that I make more than him and I wouldn't want to be a housewife on his salary. I said that I was being honest about what I wanted and I shouldn't have to lie about these things. I said we should both be glad we had that conversation and realize we aren't as compatible as we thought, so we don't waste each other's time. He called me shallow and rude for this. I really don't think I said anything outrageous, but sometimes being too blunt does make me look rude and mean. Am I the a hole? I don't think she's the a hole. I think the fact that so many men put their value on being a provider and wanting to cosplay as a provider and like they're this big man versus being okay with being in a two income home with a woman that is a partner, that makes them very sensitive to this topic. And I really, really enjoyed this read because where we are as a community, as a global community, is that women are doing very, very well. We're doing well because we're taking these opportunities and running with them. And men are going to have to come to the realization that women don't need them for survival, that we are choosing them just like they choose us, that the choosing has to be a two-way street, and that partnership has to be on the table for women that can survive with or without them, that they actually have to be decent humans to pair up and stay with a woman because women have options. And for a long time, women didn't have options. And now that we do, men are glitching, like they're glitching. They don't know what to do with this. And so then they get mad and then they act like they're not emotional, but they react emotionally. This man is emotional. He's mad. Him got him mad. Him got us sad. Okay, let's get some of the comments. Um, this person is quoting her saying, I said, maybe he can, but that housewife will not be me. That's a great answer. Basically, she is like, cool, you go do you, fine, the woman for you. It's just not me. This person says the UK is currently too expensive to live off of 35K. That's literally nothing. Once you have kids, he will realize that. Do not give up your good job for these daydreamers. This person says, yep, I live in the UK, make 39K, single parent with 2 children. I struggle. No way I could support anyone else. And this person says, hell, my wife and I make 50K between the two of us with no kids, and we struggled. Good enough for day to day living, but once you factor in student loans and vacation, we were living a pretty basic life. This person says, I have single friends in London who were scraping by on 40K, especially when the cost of living crisis really hit. It's like everybody is struggling everywhere. The costs globally are crazy. I don't know how people are doing it that want to have kids. Like right now, I already have kids. So we had kids before these crazy prices. I can understand if the birth rate keeps tumbling because these costs are out of control and people are barely living. Okay, towards the bottom, this person says, yeah, dodge the bullet, get the hell out. You don't want a man with this level of insecurity in your life. I agree with you. Why would you want to downgrade your lifestyle so that guy can have a family just to make himself feel better about himself? Exactly. Exactly. Women are being this outspoken and assertive, and I love that for us these days. All right, this will be the last one. This person says, I broke up with someone in my 20s over this. He didn't want me to work, but I already made more money than him and didn't see a point in giving up my lifestyle and freedom for someone else's happiness. He ended up marrying someone who wanted to be a cop's housewife, and I married someone who encouraged my ambitions. I'm sure we're both much happier now than if we stayed together. Life is too short to stay with someone whose goals are incompatible with yours. Absolutely. I don't understand why these men want to take a successful woman and then snatch her out and put her in the home. If she wanted to be there, that's where she would have been. She wouldn't have been climbing the corporate ladder thinking that, oh, now a man is going to come and rescue me. No, that's not how you do it. Go after a woman that has the same goals as you, that want to be with you just like that, versus trying to take a successful woman and pluck her out of the sky and then just put her in the home. That's not how it works. Everybody's going to be miserable. So let's just stop trying to do that. Y'all, go ahead, weigh in. Let me know what you think about this one. Not the a-hole. She did what she needed to do. They'll both be happier for it. Like, comment, share. Another woman asking if she is the a-hole in this situation. Let's read the title. New partner doesn't want my son to move in with us. Would I be the a-hole if I broke it off? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay, so let's read the story. She says, I'm sorry about the formatting. My mind is a mess right now. So I, 31-year-old female, have a beautiful 11-year-old son from a previous marriage. Broke up 10 years ago. I share custody with my ex. I have him every second weekend. Ex has him most of the time. My current partner, 36-year-old male, and I decided to move in together into his house with his 2 kids, 6-year-old daughter, 8-year-old son. I'm currently slowly moving my household items in when I get spare time, so I haven't fully moved in yet. While dropping my son off to his father's house, it came to light during conversation that my ex has been abusive to my son sometimes. I won't go into detail, but I was incredibly upset. I started creating a plan to get him out. Ex and I don't have court orders, and when I got back to my partner's place and told him the situation and how I might have to get majority custody, he had a less than stellar reaction. He seemed less concerned about the incident, more so how I was going to continue working. I start at 5 a.m. most days, and said things like, what about my career? I knew he might live with us, but not this soon. I really didn't consider this, etc. I was upset at his reaction. I mean, he's happy for me to move in and raise and financially support his kids and look after them, but why is my son different? I know what I have to do to protect my son, but I am about to potentially blow up my relationship and tank my career as well to have him back with me. I'm so lost right now and I have no idea what to do. My mind is everywhere. I'm making a call to CPS tomorrow to report what my son has said and going to make arrangements with work. Hopefully, I can keep my job. Would I be the a hole if I stopped the move and potentially broke things off after this reaction from my partner? Was this just shock about the situation, or is there something bigger here? I know this is a mess, so I'm happy to answer any questions. Edit. I just want to make one thing very clear to people taking the time to read my post. I am going to get my son out of there. I would never leave him in that situation. My question was more so aimed at would I be the a hole for breaking things off because of my partner's reaction? I'm getting my son 100% and making sure he's safe and he's not staying there. My top priority is my son and his safety. That was never in question. Edit 2. Thank you so much to the person who suggested paying for a service to get my son to and from school. You are an absolute genius, and I can't thank you enough. Just to clarify, I start very early and didn't know off the top of my head what to do about school. Someone suggested maybe another parent who was looking for money to be there in the morning. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I might not have to quit my job and find another one during school hours. Keep in mind that social media is being a godsend. It's helping people brainstorm. This is like a big old brainstorming session. And I know that sometimes people immediately want to drag a person. Folks are not always in their right frame of mind when there is an emergency. So they need suggestions like this woman got to be helpful. She was obviously thinking about her son. She just needed a couple of people to drop some actual helpful nuggets, and I'm glad that they did. So this person says, not the a-hole, but you can't be surprised. Look at it from his view. You decide to move in with him and without talking to him, decide you're going to quit your job. Sounds like that is a big possibility if that happens, and bring a child to live there that he was not aware of. From an outside perspective, it looks like you waited to the move in with him to decide you weren't going to work and you were going to take custody of your son. So this man makes it, and I'm sure it's a man, makes a whole lot of assumptions. She says, I haven't decided to quit my job at all. All this has come to light this afternoon. And if I were to have custody of my son, I would stay in my own house and not move in with him. My partner was very aware of my son before we made things official and had always talked about the possibility of my son living with us full time. So it definitely wasn't a surprise. We are both single parents who share custody with our exes. I understand it might be very sudden for him. That's why I'm trying to understand if this was just a shock thing or was he just banking on custody arrangements never changing with my ex. So this person asked the question, what's his response? Merely surprise? Think about it. It is a surprise. How has he responded since that first conversation? That's what is really important. An initial momentary response isn't nearly as important as what he does after that. Is he now being supportive, or is he either refusing to discuss it and or being difficult and or complaining? You would be the a-hole if you don't do everything in your power to make sure your son is safe. That includes making sure your home is safe physically and emotionally. And she says to that, that's actually a fair question to ask. After our first initial conversation, I left to go back to my house, and we haven't discussed it since. I'm planning to talk to him tomorrow further about it. I'm absolutely going to do everything within my power to get my son back. My baby is my priority, and nothing else matters. Um, yeah. So basically, yes. Yes, she is going to have this discussion. I wonder if she's done an update. This person says if you don't have custody orders yet, you can quickly get an emergency temporary one. Just head to your local courthouse with your ID and your son's birth certificate. Talk to the court clerk, fill out new forms, hand them back for notarization, and then meet with the judge all in one visit. Good luck. I love this community powwow. I love it. This person says you need to talk to a lawyer. There isn't a binding custody agreement in place, so there's absolutely no reason you can't keep your son with you while you file for emergency full-time custody and a police report. Talk to a lawyer first. You're his mom, and as such, you have a right to retain him. This person says if you don't have court orders, then just go get him and not let him go back. Then call CPS and make the report. You are definitely not the a-hole. Then she says, I would absolutely love to do that. However, it would look extremely bad to a judge if I just take him without going through the proper channels first. I need to contact police and lawyers and get a protective orders drawn up first before I can take him. I've been advised by a domestic family violence counselor to call CPS first thing in the morning. And then this person says, follow the advice of the lawyer. You're doing the right thing. In the interim, if you can get your son a flip phone so that he can contact just you. So I will look and see if there are updates on this story. If there are updates, I will definitely create another video with the updated information. You guys go ahead, jump in the comments. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. So this woman puts this in my BurbNBougie community. She titles it, Ashtavious is mad no one wants to stay in the gutter with him. She posts a video, and then this is her caption. She says, it's wild to me that I see Black people that are pretending to be so pro-Black by insulting other Black people. I've also noticed I only see this narrative pushed by men in our community. My relationships with other Black women are full of love, support, encouragement, reciprocity, and celebration of each other. I've gotten so much advice on career and personal growth from other Black women in my life. The YouTube videos I watch for growth are mainly other Black women. I don't know who these we that don't support each other are because I'm not a part of it. Men make their inability to build community with other men a referendum on the entire state of the community and not a reflection of their own personal feelings. It just sounds like he is mad that no one wants to live packed like sardines in a can with him. And I do want to say this. I feel like they are failing and flailing because women, Black women, are pulling away. We are saying, you guys, no, you don't want to be partners. Since you don't want to be partners, we'll just go off and do it on our own because for so long, Black women were ride or die. We were like, a lot of us were my man, my man, my man. There are quite a few mammies still in the community that are down for them, that one-sided loyalty is there, but it's waning and they see it. That's the reason why they are like talking about unity right now. They don't want unity. They just want us to come back and be in those positions and just fall back in line. We're saying, no, you're going to be a partner. You're going to respect me. You're going to be faithful and not stress me out. We're going to, it's going to be reciprocity. We're going to support each other. You're going to respect me. You're not the Lord of me. And now they're like, they are glitching. They don't know what to do with themselves. If they really wanted unity, if they really wanted us to come together and be in partnership, they can find someone to do that. But they're not going to find someone to do that without putting down their need to control women. They're not going to find that in many spots these days. So I'm going to now play the video and you guys can let me know what you think.
What can Hispanic people do that Black people can't?
Stick together so everybody win. They'll have 10 people in a 3-bedroom house just so everybody can save their money. Before they know it, everybody got 100,000 saved. We can't do that. We too worried about the next person having more than us or worried about what's in their pockets. The shit really sad, for real, for real.
So I really dislike when Black people try to bring other folks into the conversation as if they really have studied their culture and know what's going on behind the scenes in their community. It's not important to solving the problems of our own. It's really not the problem. And like this person says, Hispanics have problems of their own. Everyone tries to make it seem like melanated people are the only ones with problems. Exactly. But we're not going to solve our problems in our home, in our communities, by looking at other people's problems. That's not how it works. We need to concentrate on ourselves, quit trying to rope other people into conversations, act like they're doing so much better when we don't really know what's going on outside of what the stereotypes say or what we might get a glimpse of. So I want to just point that out. Like, we need to really stop focusing on other people, focus on ourselves, and then just look inward instead of out. My BurbNBougie community is still small, but this person says, whenever YouTube recommends me a video of a Black man's channel, I take a look at it, and I'm never surprised that it's them talking and blaming Black women for, well, everything. They say women gossip, but I've never seen more gossip talking people than Black men. And then Careless Balance, the OP, says, I just saw a short about how gossip keeps women safe and informed, and that's why so many men have a problem with it. Absolutely. They don't like women like me because I am sharing the stories. And the more that we share, the more that we see that it's really not us. It's not really a personal failing on us. The reason why these people are cheating or not working or not participating in home life. It's not really us because it is so prevalent. That's why they don't like women like me giving like ideas about what are red flags and to leave quickly. That's the reason why, they are really, really trying to shame women and pull down our videos. Y'all go ahead, jump in the comments. Let me know what you think about this. And don't forget to like, comment, and share.